What's up, kings and queens? Welcome back to Bad Habits Kingdom. I know it's kind of late, so I hope people are still awake. I hope everyone had a great Valentine's Day with their loved ones. 5 years ago today, we lost two beautiful souls whose life was taken way too early. And it affected many people, including myself and my family. You know, we've been very passionate about this case for, quite some time. And we never believed it would be 5 years. We've done videos, we talked about it. And recently I saw a video of L.E. Doug Carter, who I'm going to be playing here in a moment. And I just have some questions of my own, pretty much, Some things are just not making sense to me, of course, but this whole case really doesn't make sense. The crime doesn't make sense. I don't know what the real facts are, what's been confirmed. There's a lot of rumors, there's a lot of gossip, there's a lot of talk, and all that matters at the end of the day is if this case gets solved. And I'm waiting a little bit just to see if we get any more people in here before we play this clip. I hope everybody's staying safe. I know it's late, especially for you guys on the East Coast. Let's see who we got. Linda, how you doing, Linda? We're going to be playing the clip here in one moment. Who else we got? Thank you for coming. Indiana in the house. Yeah, I'm live right now. We're going to be showing a clip here in a minute. Delphi. Okay, well, I have a new update for you. You have an update as well? Yes. Say hi. She's all excited. Say hi. Which one? The one where he's on the bridge. Oh, I will. I'll bring it up. But first, we're going to play Doug Carter. You got to go to bed. You got to go to bed. Daddy got to do his video. No, don't try to lovey-dovey. Who else we got? Lady M, how you doing? From Hawaii. What? We got Hawaii? I always wanted to go to Hawaii. Yes. You need to go to bed right now so I can do this. Yes. Okay. Go to bed. Give me a kiss. Love you. Go to bed. 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 Daddy's got to do his video. It's late. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. Yes. Go to bed. She's all like chilling on the chair, like, all right, let's do it. I'm ready. Night. Night. I'll still be on when you put her to bed so we can show that clip. The other one. All right. All right, guys, here we go. I am going to play this clip and tell me what you think.
Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. I'll just start it on a question. Superintendent, we're on 5 years now. What does this case mean to you?
Oh gosh, it would take me a while to explain it, but I think it's the totality of evil in my career, me personally. But the beauty of it is I get to represent some amazing people that have given their entire life to this.
What is going on with my thing here?
They're one of the last things I think about every day, and one of the first things I think of in the morning.
Wow. What is the focus of your investigation right now, and what is the evidence telling you?
Well, I'm not going to talk about the evidence. I think we've done a fair job of doing that over the course of these last 5 years. There's been a tremendous amount of speculation, Rich, about what we know and what we don't know. I think most people's intentions are good when they've done their own courses of investigations globally. But I'm pretty confident in the place where we are right now, and eventually the world's going to know what we do. I still get between probably 25 and 40 direct tips a week right here, literally from around the world. Germany, Australia, of late, Italy, and then almost every state in the country. And, I'll forward that up to our investigators in Carroll County. Tony Liggett from the Cass County, from the Carroll County Sheriff's Office, Tobe Lenzenby and Jerry Holman and Dave Vito or Jay Harper are troopers that are assigned to this. And it's just amazing to me that they have that same energy and the same gumption today that they did almost 5 years ago. It's an extraordinary thing to watch.
You say eventually the world is going to know. Does that mean you are close, in your opinion?
I think we're closer every day. We're closer every single day. The tips keep coming. And once that comes in, once that completes itself, then we're going to have to assign another 60 or 80 detectives to this and go back through every single lead that we've ever gotten. I'm confident that there'll be a successful conclusion for Abby and Libby, for Mike and Becky and Anna, and for that community. I'm confident that there will.
Do you have a person or persons of interest, or do you have a suspect?
I'm confident that this will come to a conclusion eventually.
Well, we're going to play it more here in a second, but did you guys catch that? How he said, we're going to come to a conclusion when he was basically asking them, if they had a suspect or a person they have an eye on. I would say no, they don't. The only reason why I'm assuming that is because it's just so tricky, because I want to believe they do. It's like one thing is telling me they do have somebody. The other thing is telling me they don't. It's like either they do or they don't. And I don't know. I really don't, because it goes from today, could be the day, tonight, tomorrow, to next week, to 2 years and 11 months. It's like, I want to believe they have a lot of information. I want to believe they have a good idea on who it is. I want to believe that this is going to get solved tonight. I want to believe right now that they are loading up to go do a raid to go arrest the piece of crap who murdered 2 innocent girls 5 years ago. Now, 5 years is a long time. A long, long time. Now, this interview wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for the 5-year anniversary. It's ridiculous. I mean, really, and when he's saying it gets stronger every day, well, how strong is it? It's been 5 years. Yes, you get, everybody knows they get plenty of tips. I mean, I can't even imagine how many tips they get. And all around the world, like he said, Australia, England, Italy, Spain, they get tips all the time. Do I believe they gotten the right tip at one point? Probably. I'm sure within the 5 years, with all the tips they got, maybe more than one person was identifying the right person. Like saying, I think it's this person. You really need to look at them. But they get so many tips, they just can't keep up on all of them. Now let's go.
In the past, you have said we have likely interviewed the killer. Do you still think that?
I think that we're not going to singularly identify anyone right now, at least publicly. But again, we've done, we would be that I would be included in that. I'm not included in that.
Okay. At least publicly. At least publicly. Now, when he said that, it made me think the way he said it is like they don't have anybody. And he was just saying that, you know, at least publicly. That's just my personal opinion on it. You know, I'm sure they have people, you know, ideas and people they're interested in. But, you know, I think he just said that, you know, randomly because he said it at the very end and it seemed like it just came to him.
The detectives that have been assigned this, task forces have been assigned this, have talked to hundreds, if not thousands of people. And again, one day we'll be able to tell you why we did that and who did it.
Early on, you released a sketch of, how do I phrase it? Early on, you released a sketch, and later you released a different sketch.
Right.
Why have the sketches changed so dramatically?
Well, investigations evolve. One of the things that I've said consistently throughout this entire process, Reg, is that, remember, a sketch is not a photograph, but there'll be pieces and parts of that sketch that will make that photograph whole, you see. So if we didn't evolve with information and we didn't evolve with what we know, then shame on us. Unfortunately, we're not in a position where we can tell everybody why we switch gears, why we make a slight turn to the right or a slight turn to the left. And that's where the speculation begins, and that's where the animosity comes and the frustration. And I understand it. I do understand it. Because very selfishly, there's other than the family of Abby and Libby in that community up there, there's nobody that wants to find this monster more than me.
In December, you came out and said, you asked for the public's help and saying, anybody who's communicated with this Anthony Schatz profile on social media,
Right.
Please get in contact. Did Abby and Libby communicate with this profile?
I'm not going to talk about that, but I am going to say that we learned a tremendous amount through that particular.
Why not just say yes?
Course.
What can you tell me about this man who has been arrested, the creator of this profile, Keegan Klein?
All I can say about Keegan is that entire issue and the entire release has allowed us to glean significant investigative leads. That's all I can say about him.
What did he say?
I've spoken to some people who were
I got to go back.
Involved in the investigation.
Has allowed us to glean significant.
Keegan Klein.
All I can say about Keegan is that entire issue and the entire release has allowed us to glean significant investigative leads. That's all I can say about him.
I've spoken to some people who were involved in the investigation early on, and they say that there's more. There's more video. There's more sound. Why not release more of that? It's
important that we don't show our hand, quite frankly, and very directly.
Okay. This is what gets me a little upset. Why not show a little bit more video? What would be so wrong with that? If he's on the video, if Bridge Guy is on the video a little bit more, why not show the public that? It could help identify him if he's on there. I assume that he is on a little bit more walking towards them. I really think he is. Apparently the audio was at the end of the video. Okay. I would think, you know, from where he was walking to where the girls were standing was what? Probably 15 seconds of walk time. The way he was moving, maybe even 10. I mean, he was far. I mean, he was at a nice distance, but he was moving. You know, he's moving in that video. I mean, he's trying to hurry up to get him, to catch up to him. And they were standing still when they were recording that. He knew that they were there. You know, he obviously knew where they were, you know, when he's walking towards them. It's like they were waiting, but the way he was moving is he didn't want them to take off or something.
We're not going to explain what we know about the killer. We're not going to do that. We're not going to explain some of the intricate details.
Let me hear that again.
We're not going to explain what we know about the killer. We're not going to do that. We're not going to explain some of the intricate details of the death of Abby and Libby. Unfortunately, one day we're going to have to, but then that's going to create a whole nother issue with family and friends and the community and the like. So from an investigative standpoint, I'm not going to talk anymore about it.
The audio that you released says "guys down the hill." Does "guys" and "down the hill" come right next to each other in the original recording?
Again,
great question.
Speculation about what that means, what was actually said, who said it, was it connected, was it the same voice? And again, that's an investigative component of this, and I'm not worthy to discuss it.
From what we've seen, there's footage of the girl of this suspect, of this person of interest, from, I believe, Libby's phone. Is there surveillance video of the girls at any time going?
Rich, I'm doing this interview to talk about the effects.
Hold on.
That
What?
this gruesome crime has had on a community, on a state, and on a nation.
Hold on.
Is there surveillance video of the girls at any time going?
Rich, I'm doing this interview. Was it connected? Was it the same voice? And again, that's an investigative component of this, and I'm not worthy to discuss it.
From what we've seen, there's footage of the girl of this suspect, of this person of interest, from, I believe, Libby's phone. Is there surveillance video of the girls at any time going?
Rich, I'm doing this interview to talk about the effects that this gruesome crime has had.
What girls is he talking about? Is he talking about Cheryl and I think Cheyenne, the two girls that were out there that day? Is that who he's talking about? What girls is he talking about right there? Is there video of the two girls? What two girls besides Abby and Libby? The two. That's I don't know what he's talking about. Do you guys know what he's talking about right there? Is he talking about Cheryl and Cheyenne, the two girls that were on the bridge during the murders? I believe they were around on the bridge or at the beginning of the bridge when he took them across the creek, the water. That was the time frame that we kind of did a few videos ago, that we were assuming that by time while he was taking taking Abby and Libby across the water to the other side of the creek, that's when Cheyenne and Cheryl started on the bridge, because didn't they get on at a certain time? I believe they were on at like 2:17, 2:20, I believe. Let me see. Let's go back.
On a community, on a state, and on a nation. I'm not going to be a component of this, and I'm not worthy to discuss it.
From what we've seen, there's.
I just want to hear that part one more
But
time.
then that's going to create a whole nother issue with family and friends and the community and the like. So from an investigative standpoint, I'm not going to talk anymore about it.
The audio that you released says "guys down the hill." Does "guys" and "down the hill" come right next to each other in the original recording?
Again, there's speculation about what that means, what was actually said, who said it, was it connected, was it the same voice?
We said speculation.
And again, that's an investigative component of this, and I'm not worthy to discuss it.
From what we've seen, there's footage of the girl of this suspect, of this person of interest, from, I believe, Libby's phone. Is there surveillance video of the girls at any time going?
Rich, I'm doing this interview to talk about the effects that this gruesome crime has had on a
Who's he
community, on a
talking
state, and on
about?
a nation. I'm not going to talk about the evidence. It's not one.
Okay.
Okay. I've got nothing
Okay.
new. I've got nothing new to release.
Okay. I'll switch
He's
gears
getting
here.
mad.
Sorry.
He's getting mad.
Social media has kind of tried to devour this case. They're consumed with it. Has social
He's
media
getting mad.
affected the investigation, positive or negative in any way?
That's a great question, and I think we have this amazing ability to communicate today, and I don't understand it. I'm not going to pretend to, but what I do know is that we have been able to glean information literally from around the globe. The intelligence that we've received, not only on this case, but on many other criminal cases and criminal matters around the country, has been extraordinary. So I think when people start doing their own investigation and start comparing what they think, that creates problems. We've asked them not to do that. There are a lot of people that look like the sketches that we've released. And then when you blow that out there with a picture of somebody that they think next to a sketch, imagine what it does to that person if they're not involved at all. Right. So we've tried to be very, very careful and very cautious there with how we've done that. But I got to tell you, every time a tip pops up on my screen, I smile because I'm so grateful. Now, the downside of that is we can't respond to every one of them. I get so many of these where people want a direct response and an explanation as to what an explanation from me as to what they're thinking. And for obvious reasons, I just can't do that. But I think it's been an amazing effort in collecting an extraordinary amount of data and intelligence. And then how are we going to collate that? Because I think the vast majority of people are doing what they think is right. I hope that answers the question, because it's a really good point. And it's been something like I've never seen in my entire career.
How can the public continue to help with this case?
Keep doing what they're doing. Keep doing what they're doing. I hope that this has brought a light, maybe even a glimmer of hope, to monitoring what happens out there from a parental perspective, a peer perspective, a relative's perspective, a neighbor's perspective, whatever that might be, because again, of the way in which we have the ability to communicate. And finally, what I'll say to that is law enforcement should never talk about what we think. We should only talk about what we know. And it's easy for someone else, for a person out there trying to do the right thing, to make what they think what they know. You see what I mean? And it's really important. I know you see it all the time. And it's really important, particularly as we face head on a complete planet that's out of balance right now. And the vitriol and the negativity associated with every single thing we do. And it just breaks my heart, whether it's race, whether it's white or black or Asian or whatever. It doesn't make any difference. It seems that if we don't agree, we hate each other. And I don't hate anybody for trying to help us.
How important a piece of this puzzle is that video that Libby pulled out her phone and started recording? I mean, the wherewithal she had in that moment to do.
I will say I agree with that, because there's been a lot of times where we talk to people, to other YouTubers or other supporters or something, and if they don't agree with you, they say like the cruelest things to you, just because you don't necessarily agree with them or support what they're saying or something. Like I personally say that personally happened to me. This was back when the Chadwell thing was happening, and basically when Chadwell happened, there was so many people talking about the tattoos on the arms and how he lived so close to him, the crime he committed, and so many other things, right? Well, I actually was talking about Chadwell. I wasn't saying he was connected to the crime, to the Delphi case, but, I was talking about Chadwell and that, basically the possibilities, just like everybody else was at the time. and another YouTuber flipped out because I posted his photo on my thumbnail for the YouTube video, and she didn't agree with that. And Human something is her YouTube channel, and she flipped out. And she was actually subscribed to Bad Habits. I was subscribed to her. You know, we communicated quite often. You know, she was really cool, but she didn't like when I used Chadwell's photo as my thumbnail. And if you look up, you know, Delphi or Chadwell, you'll see a bunch of them. But for some reason, when I did it, she was really, really upset. She was pissed off and flipping out. And I wasn't saying, well, I'm not sitting here saying that Chadwell's the guy that did it. You know, I'm not saying that at all. Actually, at the time, I believed that he didn't do it. I was like, you know, I don't think Chadwell did it. I didn't like his voice connections. You know, it didn't sound like him to me at all. And she was just saying the cruelest things about me, about my family, about me being a father. I mean, she just went total 180 on me. And that does happen a lot. You know, I see other YouTubers and other people, you know, just being very wrong, you know, very cruel and disrespectful and stuff just because another person says this or another person says that. And then I've also seen YouTubers like badmouth their own supporters, their own subscribers. You know, what I try to do is I try to understand everybody's theory, everybody's logic. Okay, this is who you think it might be. Why do you think this? What's leading you to think like this? You know, what is your idea of this? You know, just back and forth. We do it all the time on the videos, right? But I'm not going to sit here and say bad things to you or about you or call you names just because I don't agree with you. I've seen so many YouTubers do that. And I'm like, how can you disrespect your own subscribers, your own supporters, the ones that watch your video, the ones that support your video and share your video, and you're sitting there disrespecting them? That makes no sense to me. And I see it all the time. You know, just because you don't agree with them or something, you don't have to be disrespectful. You don't have to say cruel things. So he is right about that. You know, if people don't agree, they just pretty much just start hashing it out, and it shouldn't be like that. It should be about, okay, try to understand one another, try to support one another, try to understand where they're coming from. Like, why do you think this? Why do you think that? Okay, that's possible. You know, because right now anything's possible. Anything. We don't know. We don't know who it is. We don't know what happened. You know, we don't know exactly which way Bridge Guy went. I know there's other YouTubers that pretty much was like, I know for a fact he went this way. I know for a fact he was right here. I know 100% he was right here. How do you know? How do you know 100%? You know, what makes you think 100%? Were you there? No. And to come to find out, that audio was, you know, a lot of people believed, including myself, that Bridge Guy was already at the other end of the bridge before the girls started, right? You know, we had so many different theories. We'll go over it in a minute. But if the audio was at the end of the video, then he wasn't. He was already at the start of the bridge moments after the girls were dropped off, and he was following them from the get-go, which we said when we first started doing Delphi. You know, that's what my main theory was, is that soon after the girls were dropped off, moments after, he was following them. He made his presence known somehow. They saw him some way. You know, he wasn't already on the other side, past them, and then turned around if the audio was already at the end of the thing, because they were only there for a short period of time before they were abducted. You know, they were dropped off at 1:30, and at 2:13, I believe it was, is when the is when the video of Bridge Guy is. And the photo at 2:06 of Abby, that's when they were on the bridge. So maybe they were sitting around, hanging around for somebody like Anthony Schatz or somebody else. They didn't show up. They said, okay, we got time to spare. Let's go do the bridge. They go do the bridge. Then they realize something was wrong when they see Bridge Guy. We'll get to theories in a second. Hold on. We're almost done.
Yeah. I'm not going to talk about that specifically, but what I will say about it is it adds, again, a little bit of weight to a very complicated murder investigation. So I'd much rather have it than not, I think, is how I'd respond to that.
I'm going to ask it, and if you don't want to go there, I understand. The crime scene, the area where their bodies were found, from what I've been told and from being there, is very hard to reach. And some have speculated that it's only reachable if you cross this creek, or if you. And the speculation is that this is a person that was very familiar with the terrain. Can you speak to that at all?
One thing I'd say is any place in the country that's rural, there's multiple points of access, generally speaking, especially in Indiana that's hilly, but mostly flat. So again, there's a lot of speculation as to why they might have been there, but I'm not going to talk about it right now.
I've seen in
not going to talk about it.
I've seen in press briefings in the past where you've addressed this person or persons directly. Is there anything that you'd like to say to them?
They're watching. They're watching. And we'll meet them soon. We'll meet them.
They're watching.
Anything you'd like to talk about, because I'm not asking you about it, but about Abby and Libby or their families or anything like that you really want me to get across?
You know, Rich, man, I hope everybody asks me that question, because that's why we do what we do, right? That's why you do what you do. It's why I do what I do. And that's why all of us have a little bit of piece of the puzzle here, or a piece of the pie, or whatever. I want to meet with Mike and Becky and Anna, and I want to tell them we did it. That's what I want to tell them. We collectively did it, and it's the last year of the sheriff's term up there. I'm sure that he wants this resolved by the end of it, because he's lived it for now 5 years too, like everybody else. The community, my gosh, what an extraordinary community. 2 deputies, a jail officer and a merit deputy, were just killed in a car accident, on the 29th of January, just a couple weeks ago. The Flora fire that killed those 4 beautiful young girls in November of 2016. They seem to have a shadow up there, and I don't understand why. But I've seen such enormous outpouring of support, and not just for people dressed funny like me, but for everybody up there. They taught us a lot about humility, and they taught us a lot about human interaction, and a lot about caring for one another, and they didn't even know it. They didn't even know it at the time. And then from a very personal perspective, I believe that I'll see their smiling faces once again. One day.
Here we are at 5 years.
Yeah.
How often do you think about this case?
My number one worry throughout the course of the day, because it's such a violent world we live in, is my hope and my prayer for people like Sergeant Jeremy Pierce. They get home every day. We've got a lot of work to do in the way in which we treat other people. But I can't. There's not many waking minutes that I'm not thinking about those 2 little girls.
Seems like a great place to end it, unless there's other things you would like to introduce. And if so, I can ask a question to introduce
No, I please talk about those folks that are up there continuing to do this work.
You mean the sheriff,
the sheriff, and Tony and Jerry Holman and Dave Vito and Jay Harper, and we have so many other people from our laboratory personnel that are so committed to this. Intelligence people that deal with it, work on it every single day. The U.S. Marshals, the task forces of federal agencies. It's been an extraordinary thing to see, and it's made us better. Their work collectively has made us better. It's not been perfect. You put 2 people in a room, eventually you're going to argue, right? Eventually.
Right.
So we fuss with each other just like brothers and sisters do. But everybody's intent is the same. Everybody's intent is the same. And their life's focus is Abby and Libby. And then the family, and then the community, and then the county, and then the state, and then the nation, and then the countries from around the world that we've talked with. I guess with such violence and such horror, some good's come out of this.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below.
All right, kings and queens. So let's talk. All right. So what got popped out at me is when he said they're watching. What did he mean by that? They're watching. He didn't say he's watching. He said they're watching. You know. And that wasn't something he thought of. That was just a reaction to the question. You know, he said they're watching. They're watching. That definitely popped out at me. I don't know if he just meant it towards one person or multiple people. You know, when he's saying we have a ton of information on the guy, maybe they do. Maybe I'm terribly wrong and bad mouthing the guy for no reason. You know, I mean, well, not bad mouthing him, but just fed up with them. I'll just say that, you know. A couple things. Let's see what we got. Kings and queens. All right. I hate doing the video without my sunglasses on. Gotta see the comments. So I don't have my prescription sunglasses with me. All right, let's see what we got. Linda, how you doing? Media USA. All right. Got a lot of comments. Sorry, guys. All right. So Indiana in the house. How you doing, Indiana? Hawaii. That's crazy. I always wanted to go to Hawaii. LE know who BG is. No doubt in my mind. Watching from Sydney, Australia. How you do? Australia. Wow. Wow. You were way out there. Always wanted to go there. You know, Australian people, for some reason, they're like all pretty much gorgeous, men and women. Like, I don't get it. You know, just had to say that. All right. First time I've ever seen Carter so confident. Yeah, he definitely seemed confident. He got upset there for a minute when the guy kept asking about the investigation. You know, you could tell he was like, I'm not going to answer questions about the investigation. Like, he got serious there for a minute, you know. But he did look pretty confident. If he can't come out and just say the new sketch is what he really looks like, then the older guy sketch is most accurate. There's some unknown reason for the second one. Duke, how you doing today, buddy? I've been saying that too. I always thought the first sketch looked more accurate to me than the second one. I don't know if they actually confirmed to rule out the first sketch. I know other YouTubers like True Crime Investigates and a couple other ones, they were saying that they did rule out the first sketch, but I personally haven't heard it. So, you know, but I agree. I think the first sketch to me looks more accurate, but that's just me. Eventually is the key word. Sounds like they're no closer. I agree. You know, I don't think they're closer today than they were in December when they first found out who Anthony Shots was. And honestly, he didn't seem that interested in Anthony Shots or Klein when he talked about him. He didn't seem, you know, like he wasn't interested in him. So I think Klein is no longer an interest. Like I said, I think they need to really look at his dad. I think they really need to sit down with him and try to get a voice evaluation or something. All right, expose him and somebody will recognize BG. Yeah, how you doing, Lady M? They definitely need to show more of the video, I would say. At least if he's walking on the bridge. You know, I get it if there's certain things on the video that's too graphic or too much on the audio that will cause too much pain. Even if the murders aren't on there, but maybe like them panicking, you know, them crying, screaming, anything like that. I get if they don't want to release that, but you know, if there's more video, a bridge guy I don't see why they couldn't release it. And that's what was brought up not yesterday, but the day before, is that they really need to go back and reanalyze on what they should release to the public, on what they feel like they could release to the public. Because obviously, it's been 5 years. They released pretty much 4 words, a video, a second and a half video, and the photo from the video, and 2 different sketches. Obviously that's not enough, which is really crazy when you think about it, because they have him on video, on audio, and a photo of him, and he still is not caught. It's pretty crazy. I hope you're wrong too, John. I really do. Sorry guys. I don't think you are wrong. I hope we're both wrong. I hope they have a ton of information. I hope tonight's the night. Today's the day. That's the saying for Delphi. Today is the day. And hopefully that one day does come. But if you notice, like when he said the sheriff is up for, is in his final year of election, I mean, that doesn't sound like they're going to be making a move anytime soon. Linda, how you doing? Thank you for coming on Bad Habits. So we said this last night, actually, in our live video. We talked about this, like, why would Bridge Guy leave the phone behind? I honestly think he wanted the girls to be found. Apparently, if he did leave 3 signatures, he knew they were going to be found. But there's a difference between wanting them to be found and knowing they're going to be found. So if he left 3 signatures behind and her phone, he wanted them to be found. That's what made me question the social media stuff a little bit too, because if they were catfish, they would just look up the last contacts, the last information, the last phone call, the last text messages, the last Facebook contact, the last Instagram, social media, Snapchat, just like with Anthony Shots. Apparently that account was the last one to communicate. I don't know why it took all these years later to finally get to that point, but honestly, when that information came out, I thought maybe they were just doing that to let the public know they haven't given up on the case. That's why every now and then I think that they keep coming out with another person of interest. Chadwell was a person of interest. How many other? Paul Eder was a person of interest. Daniel Nations was a person of interest. Ron Logan was a person of interest. Klein was a person of interest. There's so many, and there's other ones out there that are a person of interest. I just can't think of them. But that's what I first thought of when they first talked about that in December, when they first said that they were looking for this account, because I was like, well, why didn't they look this up years ago? I mean, especially when Keegan Klein said that the police told him he was the last one to communicate with that, with Libby. Okay. That's the first things you do in a murder. You look at everything like that. So I don't know why it took so long. I agree. I don't know how to say your first name, but Dawson, I'll say Dawson. I agree. You would think that there would be some way to nail this person down. I don't know the closest buildings to Monon High Bridge. I never been to Delphi. Never been anywhere near the East Coast, or Midwest, Mideast. But I know out here in Las Vegas that if I let's say I go do a crime. Okay. I go do a crime in a parking lot. I go do a crime at a park, something. There's so many buildings and stores around with cameras. They're going to find out, okay, this person heard gunshots at 8:15 at night. We know the crime took place at the park. Let's find every camera around there that's facing that park around that time and look at each car that's coming out or anybody walking. And you're just going to see so many different camera angles and stuff that would catch you. It's like almost impossible to get away with murder nowadays, especially 5 years. The CIA was able to catch bin Laden. I think they should somehow get them involved. NASA, I mean, everybody. I mean, contact everybody. This kind of crime deserves to have as much help as possible. Yes, it took 5 years for him to get on the FBI's most wanted list. That's beyond to me. Like, that is insane. 5 years. 5 years. I don't think Carter or anyone else would be talking about this case today if it wasn't for the 5 year. You know, honestly, that's just me. I think if she was smart enough to get, let me see, she would have turned it off. Yeah, you're right. They're definitely. I think there's a lot. I don't know about a lot more, but I think there's definitely more audio and more video. I definitely do. I mean, they obviously said there's more. There's definitely more audio because Abby's mom heard some more of the audio where Abby said to Libby, or Libby said to Abby, "This is where the trail ends. There's nowhere else to go." Okay, she said that. We played that in one of my clips. Okay, how come they don't release that part of the audio? What's wrong with releasing that? That makes me think they were recording him walking towards them, and then they realized, why she was recording them, they took off. They got to the end of the trail, and that's when the recording was, and that's probably even when Abby said to Libby, "Is that creepy guy still following us?" Libby responded by saying, so I agree, yeah. Dottie goes for 2 more minutes. Man, footage goes for 2 more minutes. Yeah, 2 more minutes. Probably Abby only on cameras that they may be in the area. Oh, is that what he meant? Like if there was a camera that caught Abby and Libby around there? Is that what he meant by the girls on surveillance? Because I didn't know what he was talking about when he said the girls on surveillance. I didn't know if he was talking about Cheryl and Cheyenne that was on the bridge that same day or what. And what's weird is, Cheryl and Cheyenne, I think that's the names of the 2 witnesses that saw flannel shirt guy. But they were on the bridge at 2:20. How would they not be able to hear something? A scream or something. You know what I'm saying? You would think that she would have been able to hear a scream or something. Was it the same voice? What does that even mean? Meaning if there's 2 different people. That has been a lot of talk. There are people out there that believe when it says guys down the hill that's actually 2 different people talking. Me personally, I think that's one voice. It's the same voice I hear. I've listened to that audio recording. I couldn't even tell you. So many times. I highly doubt that's 2 people, 2 different voices. I think it's the same person. That's just me, but that's what he meant when he said that. Community is paramount in helping all these solve the crimes. Yeah, the community. I mean, everybody. Everybody involved. Is trying to help. I mean, I agree when people are sending sketches. Someone that looks similar to sending photos and stuff of someone similar to the sketch that is not connected, but they're just trying to help. They're trying to help. I mean, I personally, wouldn't do that because I'd be too questioned about it. Now, if I was confident, like, what, this guy lives in the area who looks just like the sketch, or he lived right here, blah, 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 at this time, he has ties and everything. It looks just like the sketch. Check him out. Then I would. But, there's so many people that look like those sketches, both sketches, So, oh, wow. Some YouTubers simply go too far. They don't understand that the more said about the cases, the more it comes to light. They can get nasty. Yeah, they can get nasty. You know, I mean, it's a nasty world, you know, so I understand. Luckily, Chadwell was big news, even on the local news as far as connection with Delphi. Yeah. Yeah, it was big when it first happened. I thought it was possible, but honestly, I didn't think it was him from the get-go. I was hoping it was him because I was hoping they finally had him, but so true. Yeah. Oh, no, yeah. They need to meet their original law enforcement completely and get new eyes on this case and all evidence. They definitely need to get help. I agree with you there. They definitely need to get more help. And, you know, I think the FBI really needs to come in on this. I mean, I know the FBI has been in touch with this case, but I don't think they actually really investigated it. I mean, I'm sure they did their normal routine thing with it, but I don't think they gave it their all, and they should. You know, they definitely need to get involved in it. It's way bigger than we can even imagine. And that is so true. That is so true. I mean, this thing is huge. You know, I mean, this thing can be bigger than what we know. I mean, like when he said they're watching, I mean, my queen was saying a long time ago that she believes that there's a ring of people that are connected to this. And I did not believe her. I don't want to say it too loud because that would just be a null of the argument. But I didn't believe her. And it's really possible now that you think about it. I mean, it's definitely big. It's a lot bigger than what we think, you know. At least, well, yeah. He does watch. Yeah, he does. He definitely watches. I'm not saying he watches my video, but yes, he definitely watches the YouTube videos and the news anytime there's information about this case. Trust me, he knows all about Klein, and he knows the YouTubers that talk about it, like the big ones, you know, the ones that have 100,000 followers, or, you know, the ones that have been following the case from day one, you know, Down the Hill podcast. You know, he watches all that. I'm not saying he watches mine, but I'm sure he definitely watches those videos. BG, your days are numbered. BG, if you ever see this video, yes, your days are numbered, you son of a bitch. I gotta watch cussing on YouTube. Yes. Shane, what's up, man? All right. Yeah, right. Huh? What is it? No, I'm good. Thank you, though. It doesn't look good. Thank you, Dawson. Thank you very much. More no, but only one killed. I'm not sure, but on a Royal, if you're still watching, I kind of don't understand that one, buddy. That's why we talk in this area, laugh out loud. They can mean one or more. Oh, I got you. Belgium represents Belgium. Wow. G-Day Australia represents. Wow. Carol. It's been a minute. Oh, what do you got? What's this? Banned from Delphi today. Banned for showing this drawing. Mike Britton. As it begins to take more realistic qualities, work continues. Wow, that's a good 3D footage. I'll show that to the camera so they can see that. So they can see the photo. Oh, it's kind of blurry on screen. You can kind of tell. All right. Carol, I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? On Royal, we're probably literally on opposite.
I wanted to tell you that when that video clip, apparently if it's extended more and it shows out more, there's like a little side where he's going like this, but on this side, apparently there's like a little black cloth that makes it look like there was a person that was in front of him.
Like a shadow?
Like a little cloth, like a piece of clothing.
Yeah, but how can you make you saw the screen bigger to where it looks like the bridge guy's walking with somebody else? We're probably literally on opposite sides of the globe. Yeah. I mean, Belgium, I mean, that's way out there. Word for word, they said this first sketch will now become secondary. Yes, whatever that means. They just, yeah, I remember that. They said that's secondary for some reason. Shane, he thinks about this if they took hot hair in his hair, like, I should tell you something. Bridge guy has black hair. I thought he had strawberry blonde or strawberry red or reddish hair or something like that. Right, dude? I won't cut it. Yeah. Start digging. We'll meet in the middle. My ancestors are from the I study there. Okay, let me see what you got. So we got bridge guy right here, real fast, guys. Oh, wait. Oh, wow. It does look like there's somebody walking in front of him, and you kind of see a shadow right there, too. All right, guys. So my queen just showed me this photo, and it's a bridge guy, and it looks like whoever tried to adjust this photo of bridge guy, that it looks like there's somebody walking in front of him. Can you show the camera real fast, see if they could see it? I don't know if we could pull it up on the computer. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see it. Right there. Oh, they can't see my arrow.
So what's the website? It's
yeah, we definitely got to pull that up so they can see it.
cyberspaceandtime.com.
Cyberspaceandtime.com. Even I'm not supporting them. They're not sponsored by Bad Habits or anything. So shout out, no free shout outs. Okay.
I think I sent it to you on Messenger.
All right, I'll check it out, and we can do it for tomorrow's video. Very true. They felt they need to address the case, as last year nothing happened. Yeah, nothing. Also, the case progress since December. What's up, man? Alpha Beats is. I'm just gonna call you Alpha. I like Alpha. Your girl. I'm really surprised that Abby had never been on the bridge before. I would have thought it would have been provided a good shortcut to her home. And I know I never told my parents everything I did or lied. I agree. You know, it surprised me too, her being from Delphi, but she was only 13, so I can understand. She probably was too scared to do it before. Excuse me. So since the girls were dropped off at 1:30, you know, it makes me think that they were waiting around for somebody. Okay. And like you said, you never told your parents everything. We all lied to our parents about meeting people that we weren't supposed to, or doing things we weren't supposed to. I mean, I started doing that when I was about 9 years old, hanging out with an older crowd. When I was 9 years old, I was hanging out with 15, 16-year-olds, because that was all pretty much the neighborhood. And I would lie saying I was spending the night at a friend's house when I was really trying to go to parties and stuff. But like I said, they were dropped off at 1:30. The photo of Abby was at 2:06. That makes me think that they were waiting around for somebody moments after they were dropped off. They gave it a few minutes. Nobody showed up, or they saw Bridge Guy. He made himself appearance, or he said something to him or something. And then they started walking off towards the bridge. Or maybe they didn't see Bridge Guy. They were waiting around for somebody that was supposed to meet up with them, like Anthony Schatz or somebody else, and they didn't show. So they said, oh, you know what? We got time to spare. Let's go do the bridge. Abby was probably scared at first, something like that, maybe. And Libby talked her into it. Like, it's cool. You know, it's fine. I've done it dozens of times because Libby did the walk dozens of times. So, you know, that's definitely something to look at. Now, my very first theory, and I've talked about this before, my very first theory was that moments after the girls were dropped off, Bridge Guy made himself not known, but they saw Bridge Guy right away, that he was on the same side as they were moments after they were dropped off. And then they started walking, and in that photo that Libby took of Abby, you know, I always thought there was somebody at the very end of it. I couldn't tell if there was or wasn't, but I always thought there was someone standing way at the end of the bridge. Most people said there's nobody there, so I ended up, okay, you know, if all you guys are saying that no one's there, you're probably right. You know, I'm not going to say I'm the only one that sees something. You know, I'm sure somebody was seeing that too, and then they realized it wasn't a person standing there. Then they started doing the bridge, and then they made it to the end of the trail. And then Bridge Guy, they saw Bridge Guy when they got to the end of the trail. Libby said to Abby, this is where the trail ends. And pretty much there's nowhere else to go, right? They end up seeing Bridge Guy right then and there, but he turns around. And then when he turns around, he goes back across halfway on the bridge to make sure that there's no one around to see anything or hear anything and stuff like that. So he got back on the bridge, went halfway, realized there was no one around, and then started walking back toward them. Then at this point, they got to the start to go back across the bridge. They see him walking back. Libby they know something's up. They take out her, you know, she takes out her phone, starts recording him. Or maybe she most likely already had her phone out. She probably had her phone out the entire time they were walking, but she ended up recording him right away. And then when he started getting closer, they either let him step off or they started walking again. Maybe they got creeped out by him and started walking again, walking a different way or walking a little faster. That's when Abby asked Libby, is that creepy guy still following us? Libby responded by saying, mm-hmm. God, that gives me chills. That gives me chills. Every time I think about that moment, they had to have been so freaking scared, man. This son of a bitch. Why would he harm these two girls? They didn't do anything. Fuck, man. You guys, I'm sorry I'm getting emotional. That's why I do the recording. But I mean, it's like they didn't fucking do shit. They didn't do shit. They were going for a walk on a fucking bridge. I mean, excuse my language. I know I shouldn't be cussing on YouTube, but I mean, it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They weren't doing nothing. They were walking across the freaking bridge, minding their own business, and this guy murders them for no freaking good reason. What's this? What do you got? Who is that? Why are you looking at him? Oh. Yeah, they would have caught that. He's probably a cop. Wonder if Bridge Guy has a military background. Better. That's something we need to look into. Well, I mean, if we can try to look into, like, I mean, you can't look into him, but, huh? Definitely a possibility, you know. All right, what do we got? Carter called it a group of whatever that might be at one time. Yeah, it's definitely possible, you know. Definitely possible. What do people think Carter means about getting these 100+ people in to go through evidence? Does it mean once they charge someone, preparation, prosecution, in case someone? We were talking about that last night on the video. I don't know what he meant by that. Why would he need 100 people, you know, to go in after they arrest him? You know, I totally don't understand. I was hoping one of you guys would actually, because we're going to bring that up, but I don't know, you know, I really don't. BG SOB. Yeah, he is, man. He is. He truly is. He's a pig. He's filth. He's nothing, you know, to harm those two little girls. They didn't do nothing wrong. Nothing. They were babies. Can you imagine how scared they had to have been? I mean, they had all been so freaking scared. You know?
If those were my last moments, I would be very scared to the point where I'd be peeing in my pants.
Well, I mean, what gets me is like when they found her shoe. I mean, he could have been pulling her. They could have been trying to run. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, this case is just so fucked up.
I'm not trying to be mean, but his parents, they didn't do it justice.
Perhaps there's black reddish is in sunlight. That's very possible. Yeah, it could have been reddish because in sunlight. Abby was very close to him on his right. Her arm sleeve was visible. Oh, that could have been Abby. Abby's shadow. Gotcha. Because she was the last one on the bridge before he came off it. Shadow from the sunlight off BG. Yeah, that definitely could be it. Huh? That definitely could be the shadow. Definitely, I'll say this. I'm left-handed. My natural would be to walk on the right, as BG is seen doing in the video. Yeah, that's like me. I walk on the right, and I'm right-handed. I'm right-handed, but I walk on the right too. So, but I'm not left-handed. I'm right-handed. BG came up from the south side, walked past them, did the U-turn on them. That's what Abby filmed. Yeah, that's what a lot of people believe. You know, a lot of people say that. Actually, more people say that. Like, I think I'm one of the very few that think he came from the start of moments after they were dropped off. But everybody believes that he did come from the south side. I think he started following them right moments after they were dropped off. But that's what a lot of people say. You know, they said that he came from the south. I think he came from the north. Like I said, moments after they were dropped off. I mean, he could have came from the south. He could have came from the north. I mean, at the end of the day, we just don't know, you know. And I got into it with another YouTuber about that because, like, he was basically like, you know, he did come from that side. He 100%. I'm like, well, how do you know 100%? I mean, you don't. I mean, at the end of the day, but I mean, it's very possible he could have came from the south. A lot of people believe that. So, I mean, the theory's probably correct, you know, that he came from the south, walked past them, and then turned around, and that's how they knew something was up. But I think he first started from the north, just like they did. You know, they knew he was following or something, and then they started walking. And when they got on the bridge, they were walking, and then towards the end, you know, that's when they saw him walking towards them. Because you got to remember, he's in a distance, you know, when she records him. You know, he's far away. If he was close enough, we'd be able to see his face right there. So he's far, and he's moving, you know. So he is in a distance. But I actually thought that he came from the north with both of them, you know, same as them. And then kept his distance. Yeah, let's pull up the map. Let's pull up the map. Let's pull up the map. It is 1 a.m. I can't believe you guys are still awake, honestly. All right, yeah. And guys, I do apologize that I get emotional about this case, especially on live videos. You know, this is why I don't really do live videos, is because I get really emotional and really upset when I talk about this case, when I start thinking about them at that moment. And that's when I always go back and delete it and edit that part out. But I do apologize about that. All right. So let's see here. Okay. Where are we at? Let me see. Give me 1 sec. All right, here we go. Let me share this. First, let me take this on. All right. Here we go, guys. Share screen. All right. Let's take that part out. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Oh, sorry, my computer's so slow. Maybe it was a little too far. Okay, so the girls are found around this area, right? They're found around this area. You got the cemetery right here. The bridge is right here. Now, oh, whoop. This is where the girls were dropped off at, correct? I believe this is where the girls were dropped off at. I actually thought that bridge guy, they first saw him around here somewhere, moments after they were dropped off. Okay, so they were dropped off at 1:30 by Kelsey German, right? By Libby's sister, right here. They start walking, getting onto the trail. I thought that they saw bridge guy maybe in the bushes or maybe even behind them around here or something. Maybe he was over here when they were dropped off or something, maybe even down here. But I think he started on this side of the bridge. They go, they get on the bridge. They take the photo. What was it, around like here? I believe it was, at 2:06, right? Then at 2:13, they're right here recording bridge guy walking towards them. And he's probably around here, right? I think he was around here. So what I thought is that, see, I didn't know that's when the original recording was. I didn't know what time they recorded bridge guy. But I thought they got off, they walked the bridge, they got off. Bridge guy started on the bridge moments when they right when they got off the bridge, or right when they were about to get off the bridge, or when they first got off. Then he started on the bridge. That's what I thought. And then they get to the end of the trail. I'm not sure if it was this way or this way. I think it was right here. They get to the end of the trail, and then they see bridge guy around here. They turn around, they see him, and then he turns around and goes back. He turns around and then goes back while they're still towards the end of the trail. They sit down, they rest for a few minutes or something like that, and then he takes off back to make sure that nobody's around, that nobody's coming, nobody can see them, hear them, anything like that. They give him a few minutes to leave, to get out of sight, because maybe he creeped him out. That's weird. A guy by himself out there, 2 girls, they're probably creeped out at first. So when he gets back onto the trail, they see him get back on the trail, or they know he is. So that he gets back on the bridge. He gets back on the bridge. They give him a few minutes to walk, to get down towards the bridge, right? They start heading back. They get to the end, but he's already coming back towards them. That's when they know something's not right, because he was already off the bridge. They already saw him off the bridge, and now he's coming back. Then they take out the phone, start recording him, or they just start recording him. She probably already had her phone in her hand. Then they start walking after she records him for a few seconds. They start walking back, freaked out, right? And then that's when Abby asks Libby, is that creepy guy still following us? Because now he's off the bridge and he's right behind him. And that's when Libby responds by saying, mm-hmm. She responds like that because she didn't want him to hear. God, this case, man. And then he takes him across the creek to the murder site. Whoa. Sorry. Let me back up a little. To the murder site around this area. At 2:20, I believe it was, Cheyenne and Cheryl are starting on the bridge right in this area. Yeah, there's so many of those. That's wrong. That's Logan. He's dead now, Ron Logan.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it was him and somebody else.
There's so many there on there. It's possible. I mean,
I'm pretty sure it is.
we gotta look into it more. Yeah, that's one of the big reasons. But I don't know. We gotta look into it. I mean, we gotta look into everybody pretty much. But yeah, Cheyenne and Cheryl start on the bridge right here. Now, this is what shocked me, is that how they didn't hear any screams or anything, right? Now, bridge guy ends up committing the murder and then apparently cuts around this way so he can't be seen, because, bridge guy, Cheyenne and Cheryl didn't see bridge guy, I don't believe. They just saw flannel shirt guy. And then I think, if I remember correctly, I haven't talked about this in a while, so I could be wrong, but I think flannel shirt guy said that he saw bridge guy right here. Now, I thought bridge guy committed the murders and then went through the cemetery. The cemetery's right there. That's where I would think he would commit the murders. Now, apparently, bridge guy was saying, whoa, I don't know if this theory is or this story's true, but I was told that bridge guy was seen around here at 12 p.m. by a 16-year-old person. And that kind of creeped him out, but bridge guy didn't say anything to him or anything like that. So he just went on his way. And apparently bridge guy was also seen at 12:30 p.m. by this property owner that was walking her dogs and ran into bridge guy right here and actually had a conversation with bridge guy. And this is at 12:30, an hour before the girls were dropped off. I personally believe that bridge guy was there way before 1:30. I would say he was there probably around 10, 11. I mean, it could have been even earlier than that, but I think around 10 or 11, he was in that area. Apparently, this property owner communicated with bridge guy right here when she went to walk her dogs. She said, conversation, I don't know how long it lasted, but she apparently, like I said, I didn't see the police report. This is all third-party information, but apparently she described bridge guy exactly what he was wearing, the exact same clothing that's in the video of bridge guy. So pretty much she talked to bridge guy. It was definitely him, if that story is true, because she described him to the T. The blue zip-up jacket, blue jeans, mustache, but definitely not blue eyes. When I see bridge guy's photo, and we zoomed it in. I don't know if you guys saw my videos that I did about Klein and other ones. We zoomed in bridge guy's face, and it looks like he has blue eyes to me. But that's what I thought, definitely. That's what I thought. But a lot of people believe that bridge guy was, before the girls started on the bridge, was already on this side of the bridge. He was already on this side. And then when they start crossing, he passes them, which is definitely highly possible. I could see it both ways. Excuse me. He passes them, probably even says something to him, something that made him feel uncomfortable, or tried to lure them. Maybe he said, you guys want to see something, right? Or maybe he didn't say anything, but just the vibe he gave off to them, like they knew something wasn't right about him. He passes them. They get off to the bridge. He maybe starts like looking around, just looking odd. And then he turns around and starts coming back. That's when Libby has her phone. She starts recording him, because why is he walking back? That's just weird. Maybe he tried to say something and made him feel uncomfortable. Like I was saying, something that made him odd about him, right? They start walking towards the end of the trail. Bridge guy's still coming, right? That's when Abby asks to Libby, is that creepy guy still following us? Libby responds by saying, mm-hmm. They get to the end of the trail, and that's where the recording that Abby's mother heard of Libby saying to Abby, this is where the trail ends. There's nowhere else to go. And then he approaches. So that definitely is highly possible. That is highly possible. And most people actually believe that he was on this side of the bridge before the girls got on it. Like I said, the only reason why I think that he was already on this side of the bridge is because of the Abby saying to Libby, is that creepy guy still following us? That's the only reason why I think that, that at some point over here, They saw him from here to here. They saw him at some point. That's why I think that. That's why. I mean, this case is just so bizarre. You would think that by now we would have something, All right. I think they're trying things up and making sure they have everything that supports getting a conviction because they are close to tying it up. I hope you're right, Ann. Ann, it's great to see you. Thank you for coming on. By the way, thank Ann. We're going to hit the alarm because, Ann, you hooked it up yesterday with a good donation. That was our donation alarm, guys, because yesterday we had a nice $20 super sticker from Miss Ann. Thank you so much for that. That was our donation alarm. Sorry for those that wasn't expecting it. All right. Yes, and then in the video of him walking, he looks like his right leg is going to step across. I think this is when he gets right near Abby and is going to step around her. Oh, I never thought of that. Planning, quick in and out, speaks military background. Yeah, he definitely could have a military background. Oh, yeah. That's like my hair. My hair is like different color in the light, so I totally get it. I hope so anyway. I hope you're right, Ann. Libby's phone and shoe were found on the Weber property. Is that the property owner that said that communicated with Bridge Guy? Her phone was dead when it was found. Yeah, but she was using it and it being out all night, But you know what's crazy? Is that 2 weeks before her murder, her phone was on factory reset. Because they could have done the Find My Phone app, her family could have, but her phone was on factory reset. I think that's so odd 2 weeks before the murders. I really do. Apparently it was having glitches or something, but still, it's just, what are the odds, The only reason why I think that's odd is because, like, how many times do you factory reset your phone? I think I done mine, twice in 3 years? In 2 years, 2 weeks before her murders, it's a factory reset. It's just odd to me. I hate BG for what he did to those poor girls. I pray he gets caught and makes a good wife to some prisoner in prison. Lady M, I love you. That is awesome. I love that comment. Lady M, that is awesome. I like it. That's what I think. I think he came on moments later, Shane. I agree. That's me personally. Like I said, I mean, everyone has their own theories. We all need to be respectful and understand each other, but I think he started in the north. Most people believe he started on the south. So I mean, it's totally fine. That's why we're here. We support each other, we understand each other, and give each other's theories, I'm thinking BG never thought the girls were gonna cross that high bridge. They saw each other earlier on the north side on Royal. I'm with you. Then BG went for years in the car and returned. But AL on the bridge then. But Abby and Libby were on the bridge then. So are you saying he started on the north or he started on the south? He didn't plan to cross the creek. That's why I think he went like this. That's very possible. He might not have, We're similar. It might not have. Yeah, I confirmed it to a prominent member of the community who spoke to LE. I spoke to this person at 9 p.m. on 2/14. Interesting fact, Cheyenne and Logan Holder both became nothing to do with the case, but for a small population, I think it was a coincidence. Yeah, that's definitely pops up, for sure. We'll have to agree to disagree. That's it, guys. Really, I mean, that's the thing. People aren't always going to agree. There's not, he's right. At the end of the day, we really don't know. It hasn't been confirmed. So, just try to understand each other's story or theory, try to, respect each other and, see where each other's coming from. That's the whole point of this case, is helping to get it solved. And each of you just try to understand one another. You don't have to argue or disagree or agree. It is what it is. Oh, I didn't know that the lady with the dogs changed her story. I'm happy you said that. Breaking news. That's because you missed the beginning part. The breaking news was him. Oh, thanks, Keith. But the breaking news was Doug Carter, we were watching earlier, his interview that he gave to the reporter. All right. 4 a.m. night. Oh, please, no breaking news after I go. Laugh out loud. Linda, have a good night, Linda. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, hopefully you can check us out tomorrow, but thanks for supporting Bad Habits Kingdom. You've been supporting us for a couple days now. Thank you. I agree 100% with Dan. All right. Yeah. And thanks for the alarm. I was rewatching the beginning, so just now singing it. Thank you. Oh, no problem. No, Katie was on holiday. Her son arrived on a private drive around 3 p.m. to check his mom's property and stayed there overnight. If you walk through the Mears property, it leads straight to Indiana Packers. How convenient. How BW. BW. Guys, I'm off. BW isn't ringing a bell. I'm a little slow here, guys. Let's admit, I'm a little slow. BW. Let me see if I can go back and see what he meant is BW. I don't know who BW is, and I'm feeling like an idiot here. Lady with the dog's first story was that she wasn't on the walking the day. She stated she let her dogs out the back door. Then her second statement is she says she walked her dogs. Oh, okay. Wow, I'm like way off here. Oh, gotcha. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thanks, Keith. I like that last name, Starks. That's awesome. Starks. That's only because every time I hear Starks or Stark, I think of Game of Thrones. I know everyone thinks Iron Man. I think of Game of Thrones. I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan, guys. Huge. you know, except for season 8. That was freaking pathetic, but still. Dang, it is 1 a.m. out here in Vegas, so I can only imagine what time it is where you guys are at. You know, I can't believe you guys are still awake. BW is missing his left big toe, which explains the weird walk from the perp. Oh, that's definitely possible, you know, but what does BW look like? You know, is he stocky, heavy set? I heard what's his name was getting a lie detector test today. You guys know anything about that? Powell. Keith and Scottish names. That's cool. Starks. I like Starks. Here in Hawaii. Yeah, Lady M in Hawaii. Always wanted to go to Hawaii. Always wanted to go. Lady M, I'm just loving you tonight. I love your comment that you said about Beers Guy. I'm living Hawaii. Yeah, I love you. I'm loving you, Lady M. Happy Valentine's Day. BW has dark hair. Have they looked into him? I mean, that's something they definitely need to look into then. I mean, you guys seem like you're all agreeing with that one. Yeah, girl, thank you guys for the info. Klein is also giving a hair sample. Interesting. Yeah, that definitely popped up. You know, when he said that he was given a hair sample. That was the first time I actually heard anything about a hair sample before. I always heard about, you know, of course, DNA. But when he said they took hair sample from him, I thought, whoa, that's the first time hearing anything about hair. Maybe they got hair from Bridge Guy. It's only 8 p.m. Tuesday here. Civilized. Time for once. Must go. Good night, all. Keep well. Carol, thank you for coming on the show tonight. Really, I appreciate it. Would love to have you on a call in one day. I know we talked before a long time ago, so I hope you're staying good and hope you had a great Valentine's Day and stay safe. Thank you for coming on Bad Habits tonight. Really appreciate your support, hon. All right. And thank you all for coming on tonight. You know, I know it's late, so thank you guys, really. Lady M, thanks. Can't help but wonder if you have a guest room. And more if you have a guest room. DNA was found under Libby's fingernails. I knew DNA was found, but I did not know it was found under her fingernails. Oh, man. I'm going to fucking cry, man. That means she tried to fight him off. A piece of shit is out there walking the streets today. I had my eyes closed when I heard KK's voice, and oh my god, I almost had a heart attack. I thought his voice so similar to BG. It does sound similar. I do give you that. I was trying to do the same thing pretty much. I was listening to Ridge Guy's voice and Klein's voice, but my issue is like when I want something, if I want to believe in something so bad, like I'm gonna make myself believe it. If that makes sense. Like me, I was trying to see if they sound similar. And at first I didn't think they did. But towards the end, I was like, man, they sound almost identical. But I don't know if they actually really do, or if that's just me wanting to believe they do, to be honest. I know that sounds crazy, but honestly, that's just how, like, if I want something to believe it so bad, then, you know, my mind just basically believes it, you know, I guess. Guest room. I'm in Michigan. Hawaii sounds like a dream. Oh, she's trying to move out to live with you because she doesn't want to live in Michigan. She wants to move to Hawaii. Gotcha. Shane, I think she might have pulled some of his hairs, maybe also. She fought him. She fought Bridge Guy. That could be why she had the most injuries. Abby was scared, crying, wouldn't leave Libby. And Libby was an athlete. She was bigger. She fought him. She did everything she could. She did everything she freaking could, you know. Excuse me. Everything she could. She got his video, she got him on audio, she got his photo, and basically us showing the world a picture of him saying, here's the killer, guys. There he is. This is the guy that's going to kill us. This is the guy that killed us. And there's nothing we are able to do so far. We haven't done anything to help. That guy is walking the streets today. And the police, FBI, that son of a bitch, she fought him. I didn't even think of that. She fought him. That is freaking sad, man, that she was fighting him. I mean, God. The source I get my info is very reliable. Bad habits. I'm glad I found the channel. I sub and give a like, and I will be turning in. Keith Starks, thank you for your support, man. Really, you ever want to come on and call in, man, let me know. We'll set some up. Email me at badhabitsking@gmail.com. Thank you, Keith, really, for coming on. I really appreciate it, bud. I'm sorry it wasn't breaking news. I know you were expecting something big. Sorry about that, man. And I'm tired of being here. I thought it's beautiful, I must say. Oh, and Hawaii. I want to hear his dad's voice too. That's the one I'm really gunning for. I'm really gunning for. You know, but Lady M, you can always come out to Vegas. You can always come out to Vegas. It's always hot out here, though. Like we all need a vacay. Yeah, definitely. Hawaii would definitely be the awesome place. She probably tried to fight him off when everything she had after she saw Abby get hurt. So, keep yelling. So, I gotta try not to freaking cry. I'm gonna cry. So he started hurting Abby first, and then Libby tries to protect her, and then he turns her focus to her. And because she's fighting him, she's bigger. She's an athlete. She could be strong, especially in the legs. Women athletes are strong in the legs. She could have been kicking. That could be how the shoe flew off, maybe. I don't know how far the shoe was from the body. The bodies. I thought, honestly, Libby was the prime target. I still think that. I think that she was a target. And when I had my Indiana local guest on for the interview, he made a valid point that if Bridge Guy was catfishing Libby, maybe he didn't even know Abby was going to be there. He didn't know Abby was going to be with her, you know. And then he just killed them both. Just probably try to fight him off. Oh God. Shane, I invite you to YouTubers channels that I moderate for. With all the info, I'm impressed. You know, a lot of moderate for mine, Lady M. She fought tooth and nail. I never even thought about her fighting him. I never thought that. And we could trade places. I'd be more happy in the gym. Real me cry, bro. Yeah, I know. I just don't like crying on live videos. I mean, it's fucking hard, dude. I mean, it really is. It's tough, man. I'm tearing up. I mean, me too. This is tough. I just think about what gets me teared up, honestly. I'm gonna cry just say, yeah, is when I think about their last moments, how scared they had to have been. That's what. That's what gets me, is when I think about their last moments. Honestly, that's what really gets me. You know, I mean, they had to have been scared shitless. You know what I mean? I mean, why would this guy do this? You know, I don't understand why people hurt kids. You know what I'm saying? Any kids. You know, this case is so freaking horrible, and there's so many like this out there. You know, I see it all the time. People treating kids like shit or hurting kids, and you know what I mean? Especially little babies. You know, I don't fucking get it. And I'm sorry for cussing. I know I got to watch my language on YouTube. I already got a warning once from YouTube because of how I swear. But I mean, it's like, come on. Those girls were out there, you know, trying to have a good time. They were being teenagers. You know what I mean? They were being kids. You don't see kids outside playing anymore. You know, I always encourage kids to go outside and play because you don't see it anymore. You always see them inside playing video games or on the computer or something like that. You don't see them outside. You know, I mean, they didn't harm anybody. They didn't hurt anybody. They were great kids. You know, they had their whole lives ahead of them. Their whole lives. They were, what, in 8th grade? They would have been in college by now. And what? The guy killed them for no freaking reason. For no reason. You know, I know this sounds bad, but he didn't rape them. He didn't rape them. Why kill them? Why? And I'm sorry I'm not looking at your guys' chats right now. I'm just trying to vent for a second because I really just don't fucking get it. You know, they were innocent little girls who never harmed anyone. Nobody, ever. Every time you look at them, they're smiling, they're laughing, they're playing. I mean, any photo, any video, and I know that's, you know, every time you take a photo, you smile and stuff. But I mean, still, they never harmed anyone. They didn't do anything wrong. You know, and it pisses me off that some fucking pervert psychopath took their lives for no fucking reason. I'm trying to keep my voice down. I don't want my neighbors flipping out, but I mean, it's like for no reason at all. It makes no sense. No sense. Why would you do this? Why? I don't understand people. I don't get it. Why hurt them? I mean, what does that do for you? What did that do? It makes no freaking sense. It pisses me off so bad. I mean, they just hurt kids like it's a fucking game, you know? I mean, what, last year here in Vegas, 2-year-old was beaten to death by his mom's boyfriend when she was in Arizona. His name is Amari Nicholson. And the guy that beat him to death put him in a suitcase, I believe, and put him across the street in the desert here in Vegas in a dirt area, and was on the news and everything saying that someone picked him up. He beat a 2-year-old to death. Beat him to death. Could you imagine him crying and screaming and trying to run? When you're 2 years old, you don't know any better. They're kids. I see it all the time. Everywhere I freaking go, people pulling their kids by the arm or yelling at them in the store. I mean, they're kids. They don't know any better. They're babies. It doesn't matter if they're 2 years old or 10 years old. They're kids. They're learning. It's bullshit. Kids should not be in. You know what I mean? I don't fucking get it. You know, it's been 5 years that Brez guy has been walking the streets today. 5 fucking years. He's walking the streets right now. Right freaking now. He's out there. He could be right across the street in my apartment right now. I mean, we don't know where he is. We have a photo, we have audio, we have video. And we can't catch the guy? I mean, turn yourself in, dude. I mean, really. I mean, I don't freaking get it. I mean, you weren't robbing them. You weren't raping them. I mean, all you did was beat them and kill them. I just don't get it, man. And I'm sorry to flip out, guys. I really am, you know, but I mean, I just don't get it. Yeah, I mean, their last moments, you know. It's sad. They had to have been so scared, you know. That's what made me didn't understand why Cheyenne and Cheryl didn't hear him. Sorry for flipping out, babe. I mean, I was flipping out. It's just sad.
Just hearing two people's voices, the suspect
Yeah, I know. Sorry, guys. I gotta say this. Get pissed if you want, but I believe it was a financial gain to frame Ron Logan. Never thought of that one. How one BG dies, I hope it's on the injection slab by Shank. Yeah. You know, I hope. Oh, wow, shit, really? The person I believe is 55 years old today. Yes. I heard that too, but I didn't want to believe. If yes, I have so much on him. PB. Who's PB? Not human, senseless. Don't know about sharing email unless that's okay with you. All right, guys, we are going to call it a night. And again, I do apologize for getting upset and flipping out like that. I'm sorry you guys had to see that. That's why I record videos instead of doing lives. This case has bothered me for a long time, just like you guys. And sometimes I just can't control my emotions on it, I guess, if you guys ever want to come on the show, go ahead and email me at badhabitsking@gmail.com so we can make that happen. We'll be doing another live video tomorrow morning sometimes, and I really, really want to say thank you guys for coming on here so late or so morning compared to where some of you guys are. Thank you so much for coming on, supporting Bad Habits Kingdom. Also, you can check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Apple. Even can be our friend on Facebook, Bad Habits Kingdom, and be part of our Facebook group. Also, you can email me personally at badhabitsking@gmail. I will put that up here. This is my personal email. This is where I do all my communication when it comes to the case. And if you would like to come on Bad Habits Kingdom, we don't have to show your face on camera. We can set up a call in, get your theory about the case, get your ideas and stuff like that. Would love to have you on. If you would like to, go ahead and email me tonight so we can get you on tomorrow morning sometime if that would be possible. And that's going to be it, Kings and Queens. Again, and you did a big donation yesterday, so I'm sorry, you guys. Prepare for the alarm real fast because Ann hooked it up. All right, Kings and Queens, that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for checking us out tonight. I love you guys so much for all your support. You have no idea. Keith, thank you for subscribing and showing support to Bad Habits Kingdom. And for those of you that's been supporting Bad Habits Kingdom for a while, I really, really appreciate it. We don't do just the Delphi case on here. We also do entertainment videos and stuff. So definitely check those out. I actually made a video today called I Forgot Valentine's Day for my queens. So definitely check out the video. It's kind of funny. So I hope you guys have a great night. Stay safe and go ahead and email me. Really, I hope you guys are having a good night and stay safe. I love you guys. Thanks again for all your support. Have a good night.